people, women, and animals, which is fantastic. Then she found dog agility and animal welfare, and that consumed a lot of your time until she found the Wine Academy, which I think is something we'd all like to know about. Lucinda's Toastmasters memory is competing in a lifeboat contest in which she played Peter Pan and reached the final leg against the Pope. I think we're going to need a bit more detail around that, Lucinda, maybe in the next break. So please wave your hands or put them together for Lucinda Harmon on PR marketing to attract new guests.
So, a very good afternoon to you. I want you to open your mics, please, and everyone say hello from wherever you are in the world. It is South Africa. It's 36 degrees here. You've got to give me 10 out of 10. I'm wearing a jacket. I'm wearing a long shirt for you because I want to seem appropriate. I don't want you to feel kind of cheated out by the weather today. So why don't you open your mics? I'm going to say hello to you, and you're going to say hello back to me. I want to feel the love of District 91. Hello, District 91.
Hello.
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 That's just to get the energy going, and that's what I will be showing you today is about engagement, about energy. It's all about this kind of thing that I bring every time I go into any corporate, any place in my life. It's what is really important. The first thing I want to say to you is to be alive. Wow. This is like no other time in the world. We will never experience what we've experienced in 2020, 2021. It is a unique time. It's the most remarkable time to be alive. And you know why? Because we've got a whole opportunity. We've got a whole world of possibility ahead of us now. We've been nudged to do things differently. We've been challenged. But now's the time to step up because this is the most exciting time ever. Do you know why? I wouldn't be here today if we were in the old style. I would have had to fly to the UK and then come visit you and have an overnight or 2 or 3 in the UK and then fly back to South Africa. So I got to tell you, this time to be alive is so unique and it's so special. And I hope today I will help you fall in love with the entire concept of PR and marketing. Now, this doesn't belong to the VPPRs only. This belongs to every single person, whether it's in Toastmasters, whether it's in your real careers, whatever it might be. I hope that you find this really helpful. I want you to head to the chat box and I want you to partake in something with me. Why did you join Toastmasters? What is your why? Throw it at me in the chat box because I want to see your why. To gain confidence. Mine was to become an international speaker and to get on the TEDx stage. That was it. What is your why? Why did you join Toastmasters? To get over the fear of public speaking, improve communication skills, gain confidence. We'll be flying. I like to meet English-speaking Koreans. I joined to meet English-speaking Koreans, to push myself out of my comfort zone, challenge myself, feel that buzz when you've done something that makes you nervous. The social, it seemed fun, personal development, fun. Love that. Remember that one. Public speaking, confidence communication. To succeed as I didn't get that activist. I'm not sure what that one means. To be a speaker engages, speaker meetings, and are you getting the gist? I've just given you my one. I joined only because I wanted to become an international speaker. I wanted nothing else. And I want to get you back on a little story. So I want you to think back to the first day that you stepped into a Toastmaster meeting. Where were you? How did you feel that first day you got someone say to you, hey, Robert, Diane, Mark, Antonio, how did you feel that day that somebody said, why don't you come to a Toastmaster meeting? How did you feel? How many times did it take for you to actually go to the meeting? I actually get goosebumps thinking about this because I've heard so many stories. Terrified. It really is a lot, excited and scared. Now, I want you to, every time you invite a guest, every time you go into PR out there, I want you to think about this question every time. Go back to your why and remember that day. Because you will, the whole way that you're going to go about this whole strategy now is going to be a lot different. Now, I'd heard about Toastmasters from my 20s. My sister, my brother were Toastmasters, and I considered them total nerds. I thought it was a glorified book club or was a drinking club. And I thought, oh, Toastmasters sounds ridiculous. I don't like weddings. I don't want to MC. Not going to go there. Only by the time I got to 50 did I finally meet somebody who asked me a simple question. What is your dream? And I said, to be an international speaker. She says, so do you ever get any speaking gigs? And I said, yeah, I do. And she says, haha, but has anyone invited you back? Oh, shock. No. She said to me, I tell you why, you probably were rubbish because no one evaluated you. So you didn't know how to improve and you were just going out there and probably shooting all over the place without structure in your speech and probably not engaging, connecting with people. That is probably why. She said, I tell you what, there's a Toastmasters club right here. Why don't you come tomorrow? And I said to her, you know what? I'll come teach you a lot of things. Sure thing. Very cocky. I'll teach you. And I strode into this club, not like other people panicking and nervous. And I've heard big stories about people took them 3 years to join because they were so scared. And they sat in the back of the room and they didn't give a speech or take part in a role for 2 years. I know the stories. I hear them all the time. But I went in there because I had a mission. Now, the words communication and leadership were not the hook. When I was told leadership, I'm like, I don't want to lead. I'm no shepherd. I don't like sheep, and I don't want them following me around. Was my number one. Number two, communication. I'm like, oh, I'm a great speaker. I can speak to anybody. Little did I know what communication meant, the honest truth of it. So I was never being hooked. Toastmasters never, ever got near me because the messaging was out all the time for someone like me. It took me to meet somebody who really spoke to my need and understood that there was something in my life that I really did need, and it was actually going to be resolved actually in a Toastmaster club. The story is, I'm not only now a TEDx speaker, an international speaker, I'm now a division director. I've got a Distinguished Toastmaster Award. I've won a lot of different things going through this. Now, I would never be where I am today without Toastmasters. I only got to the TEDx stage because I was doing a launch event for a new club and the convener was in the room. That is how I got my TEDx. I was screaming and shouting for 5 years. Someone give me a TEDx, and actually, I can't think his name, Toby at Brighton said to me, Lucinda, stop chasing a TEDx. Stop it. The TEDx will find you. Do the work, do the practice. Start working your craft, get your message right. Guess what? He was right. And it all came down to this organization that has got me to become a corporate coach. Today, I stand in front of big corporates. I do a huge amount of work. This organization. Now, I want to go to the next one is somebody that we all should know, is a man called Lance Miller. Now, I'm sure you all know who he is. He's got a CD that he's got, which is out, which you can get. I can't get from in South Africa, but there's a downloadable version that I'll try and find for you all and give it to Antonio. He did a CD interview about building a championship club. An amazing CD, and please get your hands on it. This man had a club that he built to 95 members. He's known as the master of creating clubs, and his tips are spot on. What I found amazing about his work is his three main tips to actually creating a championship club. And all these three things I follow in my day as a sales hunter specialist that I am. Every day I follow these 3 steps. Number 1, communication. This is critical in your life, relationships, in everything that you do. In a club, highly critical. You've got different personalities. You've got people from different maybe cultures, different even languages in some clubs. Some of the diverse clubs now online are attracting people from all over the world. We all come from a different background. But if we start communicating effectively, if we learn to be open, if we learn to deal with things constructively, have candid conversations, learn how to work through negotiations or conflict quickly and get things out in the open and a very clear understanding of communication style between the exco, from the exco to the members, members to exco, that everyone feels they're seen and heard. That's critical in life, and that's critical in Toastmasters. The second most important thing is energy. Energy. Passion. Little story. I was really in a bad predicament, and I had to go and sell moonshine. I don't know if you know, moonshine is an American thing, undistilled whiskey, and I couldn't stand why one restaurant was buying all my stock. The one day I said to the guy, like, tell me what's going on here. He said, I'm buying your passion. I'm buying you. You're so passionate about moonshine that I'm buying it all because somehow I feel it's going to be contagious and it's going to do something for my life. And this is what it is about Toastmasters. If I go out in the world and I don't wear my pin and I'm not proud to be a Toastmaster, and I walk around, I go, oh, come to Toastmasters. There's communication issue. There's a meeting in 4 days' time. Are people going to come? Or if I say, you know what? I'm a Toastmaster. And you know what it's done for my life? I love to share you. I'd love to share this with you. I love to share the love. I love to give you the opportunity and the 40 of those opportunities that Toastmasters gave to me. Will you join me? Will you give me an hour, 2 hours, your time? And I want to open a world of networking and possibility you've never seen in your life before. Look at the difference. And it's all about energy. When people come in the Zoom room, especially now on Zoom, more important than actually in the real face-to-face. They're coming in and they're feeling your vibe and your energy. If you're flat and you're down and it's just bantering and it's negativity and it's COVID and it's whatever, people are not going to come back. If it's going to be upbeat, if people leave accelerated going, yes, I feel so great. I've had a great meeting. I'm growing, I'm expanding my network. I met the most amazing people. I've got a coffee thing, even if it's online. That is energy. And energy is the thing that we most need in our lives, especially now as well. This is the best time for people to join Toastmasters. It's the best time. We've got their absolute attention. And this is the time to the growth and the upskilling and learn the incredible art of communicating on Zoom. And for me to exude my passion, I come through that screen to you. Is the art to it. And it's really important. You can learn this in Toastmasters. His third point is turn the ordinary into extraordinary. And what he's saying about that is it's really the Kentucky Fried Chicken, the Colonel Sanders story actually gives, but we're not going to go there. We can make Toastmasters ordinary. We all are Toastmasters. We're all in a Toastmaster club. Wow. What are you going to do that's unique about your club that's going to attract your kind of member and your guests, the people you want in your club? There's your question. How are you going to take the ordinary to the extraordinary? And there's these 3 steps: communication, energy, ordinary to extraordinary. And you've got the winning recipe. And that is, I could almost say that's the end of my speech, but it's not. So when you go into this, the important part is I gave you a little tidbit. I said to you, effective messaging. It's really critical. And my favorite messaging comes from District 91. My best slides, the best of Kit. You can just move slides for me. We need to move on so everyone can see the slide. It's a bit blurry, that one. This is what matters most. If the person on the other side says, wow, I need this, this is going to change my life and enhance my life, guess what? That person's going to become a member, and I'm going to show you later how. Effective messaging. District 91 gives it to you on a platter. Here it is. I've given it to my district. Said, guys, I want you to match this and go better than this. Effective messaging. Interview. This is about an interview. I can't read it here, so I'm going to read it out. I improved my chances of getting a job is what it says on the slide. And they even give you the script to start with your post saying, I always used to get tongue-tied at interviews. But guess what? I don't do that anymore. I went to this Toastmasters and I learned in a safe and supportive environment that I actually was better than I thought. And I had it all within me. I just needed to build up the confidence and I needed to believe in myself a little bit more. And today I have sunk the best job ever in the world. Number 2, You'll see the team leader one. I became a better team player. How many people battle with being a team player? They're in corporate, they're stuck in some sort of job and they're not really happy, but they can become happy if they become team players. And there's the script. That's for the people that you know would need that, particularly they're in jobs. They might be in sales teams. They might be in networking teams, whatever they're in. And the script would go, I learned team meant together everyone achieves more. One of my favorite quotes, because I always add on to that. I always say, because alone I went fast, but I learned that with my team, I went further. And you know why? Because I learned being in an exco, I learned being in committees, I learned through this incredible organization how to hone those skills to become a team player. And I'm very proud of being exactly that. On to the next slide. We need to go through these. The next one is I had the confidence to ask for a pay increase. How many people in the room go, oh, ask my boss for pay? You're going to be kidding me. Ooh. I mean, he might say no. What the amazing thing is, here's the script for those kind of people that you know are sitting in jobs and you know that I was nervous sitting down with my boss. Today, I've got confidence. Today, I can speak with authority. I know how to think on my feet and I know how to put my case across. And I do it in such a succinct, good way that I actually got a pay increase. The next one is about being, I learned how to lead a team. How many people are now thrown into jobs? They're doing something and it's like a natural progression. You must become a manager or you must become a manager or leader in an organization. And they go, oh my word, what now? And they feel like they're thrown on the bus and the company's not giving them training. And there's the slide for them. Being a leader is not natural to me. It's not actually natural to anyone because in Toastmasters, you become a leader. You are trained to become a leader. And today I'm a leader because of Toastmasters. And onto the last slide of District 91. Here's the other one. I've delivered my first presentation. How many of those graduates are coming out and they have to go into these, they put into positions for a year and they have that 1 year gap time in a company where they're learning and they have to their first presentation. I do a lot of conversion, a lot of work with corporates and graduate programs and creating new clubs in this particular arena. Dry mouth, clammy hands, nausea, shaking. My shoes almost left my feet, but I knew after I'd actually attended Toastmasters and got through a level 2, 3, whatever, something happened to me. I found that suddenly I could present. I had the skills and I was confident. I knew how to use presentation skills because I am now proficient in presentation mastery. And you can give that to anybody and say, I've done it. And the last one, I've nailed my interview and got the job. Those youngsters coming out pre this time and now people are going to be without jobs. I nailed that interview and I used to struggle to think on my feet. But because of impromptu speaking, because the club actually really nudged me to grow and pushed me, today I'm proficient and I know how to do this. I know exactly. You can catch me. You cannot catch me off guard. I've got it and I nailed that job. So those are the kind of slides that I want you to go and have a look at. And in your clubs, really work on this. Even use this on your LinkedIn, which will go through some of the channels. Go and start using this information. We're now moving on to the different advertising platforms. Now, I know someone's going to talk about radio later, and maybe a bit about Facebook, but these are your kind of platforms that I would suggest. I'm not sure in the UK all that you're doing, but I've got a fair idea. Radio, television, local newspaper, emails, WhatsApp, social media platforms. Television is kind of a bit limited. We know that can be, and it's not for everybody. In District 74, we've got a lot of African countries higher up. And because they're such small kind of, what's the word? They're not hugely populated, whatever. They do have television and they put on Toastmaster things a lot. But where I live in South Africa, in Johannesburg, you're never going to get on television unless, I mean, like now I'm being interviewed on International Toastmasters for my TEDx. So you, depending how high you go and how far you go, but you're not going to get on the average Toastmasters is not going to get a television on that particular platform. I would say local radio for you in the UK and the towns that you're in, very emphatically so, and definitely local newspaper. Don't underestimate a local newspaper. In District 74, we've got people further remotely out. The paper, they invite the journalists to come to the club. They invite journalists to come to their contests. They make their contest a public matter. They put out that they're having a contest. The public is open to arriving, coming along, whatever you want to call it. And they make the local newspaper guys their friends. In the time we're face-to-face, they used to buy them a meal, buy them drinks, and that was kind of the way to lure them in. And today, I can see some of these clubs using their local newspaper so well that they're looking for the content. They're begging for the content every single day. Please give us your content. When is the next competition? Who won? Even this every 2 weeks, they'll put that up in the community page. And if you give them the information, I can't think what the it's educational matter, and you inform them about something. How do you become proficient in speaking? Some tips about how to get more confidence in your life. Maybe it's about, I know you've got a stammering club. Maybe it's directed at that. Maybe it's directed at someone who's got depression or anxiety. Whatever it might be. Maybe you're lonely right now, and coming to a Toastmaster club might be the best thing for you during lockdown. There are so many potential possibilities. I can't even begin. I could have hours of, and I'm watching the time. On the next slide, we're going to go social media platforms. And here we go. Facebook page, it's public. As soon as you got a group, you close it off. Keep it on page. I checked out this District 91, Division A on the way in. You open. That's correct. And the most important thing is consistency and visibility. You've got to keep it going and going and going. Your people out there, humans are habitual. They like routine. Trust me. And if you are going to be up and down like this in your social media, so are your visitors and guests. If you want your guests and visitors to be consistently watching and reading your content, you've got to be consistent. So in a club, I will always, straight after the meeting, I'd put the winners in prepared speech, impromptu, table topics, straight away, boom, boom. Then by the middle of the week, bang, is my next one. It's straight in. It's about something I'm giving you about information. By the week before the meeting, I'm already telling you about what's coming up. And then days before, I'm like, I'm going to see you there. I look forward to meeting you. Facebook, the power of Facebook, it's there, and it really, really works. LinkedIn, underestimated in Toastmasters hugely. There is where your professionals are. On the content, I won't have time here, but I want to actually do an educational on showing somebody how to take a same message from Facebook to LinkedIn to Twitter to Instagram to Meetup. It changes completely. And I'm taking the same photo, and I've been showing people on my Facebook lately how I'm doing it. People go, my word. And I go, it really is simple, but you got to know how to do it. LinkedIn is professional people. Speak to what is going to affect them. Going up the corporate ladder, interviews, diffusing conflict, negotiating, syncing that next big deal, working with your competitors, how to get ahead of your competitors, whatever it might be, but start to move it in that direction. And you want to think on your feet? Do you want to be really, really good in your profession that no one can catch you off guard? Come to Toastmasters. That's LinkedIn. Twitter, I'm not going to talk too much. I'm not a favorite of Twitter. It's got its own level. I find it, it's not my game, but you're welcome to Twitter. It is used, and it's kind of often, let's just leave it there. Instagram, your younger people. So if you're looking at 20, 30-year-olds, they love Instagram, and treat it like a magazine. It's like flip through the magazine. Give them pictures and give them some content, and keep it going. Keep it going. You've got to build it. And I see a lot of Toastmaster clubs engaging me at the moment on Instagram across the world. Very effective. Meetup. I'm not big on TikTok. I've got to be honest. For Toastmasters, I don't know where else feels. I went on TikTok and I got out within 24 hours, and a lot of mates of mine in the UK are using, and they're going, yeah, come. And I'm like, what? No. And I saw like those meme things they were sending. So I kind of feel Toastmasters, I'm personally, you can do whatever you wish to. On Meetup, there for me is the gun that I found to work the best in clubs. Very, very, very important for me. In South Africa, a lot of people are lonely. They've moved cities, whatever it might be, towns, whatever. They are lost, and they kind of trying to network and find people. Toastmasters does it for you. And every single time I would post clubs, and I got up to 20 people a meeting just by Meetup. That is the power of Meetup for me. I'm going to move on now and give you an example. Here is an example of effective messaging on LinkedIn. A lady wrote to me, didn't know if I'm bar of soap. She got hold of me and connected and said, connection on LinkedIn. And she said, thanks for connecting. I'm glad to be network. I see that you're a distinguished Toastmaster, division director at SA Toastmaster. How has your experience been with Toastmasters? Not very well written, but I'd recently been invited to and attended 2 Toastmasters meetings, and I must say they were great. Look forward to a great learning and networking experience. So here was somebody, potential, getting hold of me on LinkedIn, and I wrote back, lovely to connect with you, warm, engaging. And I said, I would not be where I am today as a TEDx speaker or corporate coach without the great learnings of Toastmasters. It gave me opportunity in networking, nothing else did. She signed up within 24 hours. She's a member. And she says on LinkedIn that honestly, she cannot believe that the power that she's experienced in this incredible thing called Toastmasters. And she's actually an accountant, and she came through to me on LinkedIn. Don't underestimate. And remember, you carry your brand. So when you go out there, put Toastmasters out in the brand on your pages, not in your clubs, not in your divisions, not your areas, but carry your brand wherever you go as a proud Toastmaster and carry that badge and celebrate your successes. Our second last slide, Kitty, we can go up, effective messaging. Now, I've borrowed this from a club that I do frequent called Shillings. Anyone know what Shillings Club is? No, never. Very global, a club that I enjoy because I love diversity and I'm a cosmopolitan human, and I like out the box and out there and creative and dynamic and energetic. So that is why I tend to visit this club. So if you watch the way that the emails were constructed, it was really about pre the meeting, the power of Easy Speak, the way Antonio used it as the president. And she used it, I've taken names out, but I loved the way she spoke about fabulous such as Toastmaster, love yourself and love others, all the teasers she put in. She teased and teased, table topics from the Ever Smiling, the Irish Grammarian, tease, get you into the club. The emails went out before, even on the day, she's telling you the meeting's coming up. You cannot forget with Shillings. You're going to get reminded, and you're going to see it coming up. After meeting, it was Christmas time, 2 minutes to go. It was Christmas time. She uses me as a general evaluator. She pimps me for free. And she says, what I said is this advanced club, you feel it from the moment you attend. She took my words and she put it out for the entire world to see as a DTM. That speaks volumes. Use testimonials. Use the whys of your members and guests and people like that. And put it on social media. Go crazy. Make a lot of noise. And that is how she goes. She brags about it. 7 DTMs, getting an 8th DTM. Brilliant. 12 countries coming to our club. Wow. We are the most cosmopolitan club. We are online club celebrating diversity. The final one is from Manasseh, Port Washington, and the way they do it. All the winners, everybody, all the time is actually being celebrated. The first, the best table topics, the best evaluator, the best speaker. If you can go last slide for me, Kit. Let's be a good Toastmaster, end on time. I had to rush. I had to get to 30 minutes, and that was a 2-hour session I had to push in for you. The power of visibility can never be underestimated by Margaret Cho. The power of visibility can never be underestimated. I thank you to District 91, to your amazing division, your division director, Antonio, and back to the Toastmaster Day. Thank you very much and have a wonderful training.
Thank you very much, Lucinda. A high energy and very packed session. I can see why it could easily be stretched out to 2 hours. But I think what Lucinda managed to convey to us in that session is all 3 M's in sort of your marketing model: media, market, and message. And she talked about how you go and find your market. But the most important lesson I want everyone to take away from this is that the messaging is the easiest part of the marketing, because we know the message, we've lived it, we've seen other people grow through Toastmasters. So we don't have to think about how do we sell Toastmasters. We just have to tell the stories of people who've achieved through Toastmasters, what they've achieved in work, what they've achieved in life, and take those testimonials and videos and put them online and get them out. That's how we will draw people in.